Hello, hello everyone. So I'm not going to be long. It's just quicker to go live than it is to do a video and then upload it. So I just thought I'd go live. I know it's early, and there doesn't need to be a lot of people in here for me to just say a few things. Most of it's on the title script. Wow, that was quick. Hey Casper, how are you? How's it going? Most of it's on the title page anyway. So firstly, I hope everyone's doing okay. I know some people aren't, and condolences, and I do appreciate that for some people, life isn't too good, and I'm not happy about that. But everything that happens is because of what these people are doing, not because of what I'm doing. Good, I'm glad you are. Hey Kiwi, how are you? That was quick for you. Good to see you. Maybe it's because I'm at a different time that different people come in. But this world that we're in at the moment is going through a few changes, and those changes are going to become more and more extreme. And there are certain people who are trying to, just have dark agendas, basically, who want to do some manipulation and not very nice things, but in order to maintain control of the matrix and maintain control of people. And that's not going to happen. So, and some people are realizing that the truth has been spoken, and they're feeling, that in real life. They're feeling what's being said, and they're appreciating that if they carry on the way they go, or the way they were going, things aren't going to improve. And I'm not being horrible, I'm not being nasty. I'm just, as I've always done, I just tell the truth. And I don't care whether people like what I say, because it's the truth. It doesn't matter whether you like it or not. It's the truth. There's nothing. I'm not going to tell you a lie. I'm not going to come on here and keep lying to you. I'm going to tell you the truth. You either like it or you don't like it. You either listen or you don't listen. And we carry on through life. But I'm not here to gloat. I'm not here to be holier than thou. I'm just here to tell you how things are and how things will be. And that's just the case. And it's pretty much what people were asking me to do, when I was halfway through these videos of mine, for the last 5 years or whatever it is, well, if you know so much, tell us what's going to happen. I'll tell you what's going to happen. You don't take any notice. So, I don't know. Doing good, entertaining my neighbour with a place to lay his head till he flies home on Sunday. Oh, a good Samaritan. Good on you. I've been through a lot, Kiwi. People don't think that I have, but I've been through a lot, and my perspective on life is because I have, and I've seen really dark times. Really, really, really dark times. From when I was a little kid, pretty much up until now. And not just the times that I've been through, but the things that I hear about other people going through. And this is not a reality that sits well with me. It just doesn't. And from what I gather about myself, and I gather about the world that we live in, my perspective about it has changed, and my perspective about people has changed. My perspective about animals, the environment, aliens, beings, demons, it's all changed. And for me, I would say for the better. And for some of the people that I interact with, they'd say that I'm the villain or I'm the enemy, when in fact I'm not. I'm neither of those. I'm not a villain nor an enemy. I'm trying to help people um, find. Jesus says, I am the light and the way, which is I am the it and the how. I am the spirit, I am the spiritual way, and I will show you how. I will show you the way to my Father. That's pretty much what he's saying. This is what I am, and this is how you do what I'm doing, and you get to my Father doing these things that I'm telling you and that I'm showing you. This is how you do it. Not, you don't have to come directly through Jesus. You just do what Jesus shows you, what he tells you, and that leads you to that, because he's the Son of God and we're all the son and daughter of God. So therefore, we do what Jesus did and we get to God. That's how I see it. And to me, that's simple. Like that's easy. Like there's none of this bullshit that goes along with it. It's just like, here I am, I'm the light and the way, which means here I am, I show you that I'm the light, which you can be the light too, and I show you the way to be the light. So, and I show you through me. You get to my Father through me, which is how I show you. Because I show you, it is through me, the way that I show you, that you get to my Father. Not I have to go through him. I have to listen to him, which is what this has all been about. Listen, hear me all and listen good. I have to listen to what he's said, understand what he is, understand that I need to be that as well. And in doing that, that leads me to dad, father, mother, all of that. So that's how I see it. And that's because I've seen all the other bullshit. It's like, well, hang on. Everything that people are saying and the way they're saying it, which is nothing as it seems, is bullshit, because none of that is real. I don't see any reality, like their reality is nothing to do with mine. Like my understanding of what's being said and what's being shown and what's being done doesn't sit the reality that I actually believe when I look at all the information that I have, which is all that the chase was about. Nothing is as it seems. Basically, manipulation to an nth degree of the human mind, body, soul, however it was. And that was just life. Like the chase was life in general. Nothing is as it seems. This fake news, blah, blah, blah. The fake history, the fake, everything is fake. It's all fake. It's not real. And once you start realizing that it is fake, that it's not real, it's easy to get through life. It's easy to understand what is possibly real or more likely to be real than what it is you're actually hearing. And in some instances, if you only get one point of view, you're screwed. But if you can see the big picture, in other words, if you look at everything, if you take, remember I talked about the macro and the micro, you can go to street view, or you can take, the looking up from, space sort of view, or just looking down from a plane, or however high or low you want to go into whatever's happening in the world, whatever's purported to be happening in the world, or whatever's purported to have happened in the world. And then you look at those things and you think, well, hang on, that can't be true. What happened? This can't be true, what is happening. And this is also not true, what they're saying is going to happen, which is the manipulation that they're going to do with regard to the weather, the land, clones, AI, drones, all of this, military stuff, all of this mind control stuff, what's happening with the Pope. It's all rubbish. And the political arena is just, well, not just a political arena. The arena of the elite is just blackmail and corruption. And they think that people don't know that this is what they're doing. But yeah, we know. We know about the blackmail. We know why people are being, and some people are not. Some people say, no, I'm not going to do it. Blackmail me if you want to blackmail me. I'm not going to do it, because at the end of the day, right is right, or correct. You have to be correct. So that's how I see it. Hey, INFJ. I asked you before, INFJ, which one is that? Is that the personality trait, or is that it's no effing joke? And then I have to ask you, well, not ask you, but say, I hope you're not a billionaire. Um, just have a fear. Empathy, yes. That's a question on my mind. That is, like I say, empathic. You need to be empathic, but I hear people say empathetic, and like I don't think that is right, but I could be wrong. And it doesn't sound um, too complimentary to be empathetic, like pathetic to M. Doesn't sound too good, but empathic, like pathic to M. But I could be wrong. I don't like the term empathetic. It doesn't sound right, but it's a term that most people use. And I don't know how my version of empathic is different to empathetic. I might have to look it up. But yes, empathy. The more personality, the more life experience I am exposed to changes life perspective. Yeah, and that's the way of the matrix. That's why they do that. So you are, what's the word, exposed to certain things, which makes you believe certain things, which is why we have different religions and whatever. But you support, more often than not, a team from where you live. More often than not always the case. Some people support the best team. Like, this is the best team at the moment, I'm going to support that team. But more often than not, you support, your local team, which is the right thing to do. Bring money into the place that you live. Like, the more money you spend in the town that you live, the more money the town's going to make, the better off you're going to be, because your town's going to be looked after, or supposedly, if your politicians are, good politicians. So tourism brings money in, and that money should go to giving you a good lifestyle. Looking after your roads and your whatever, whatever they're supposed to look after. And that's how it should work. So you bring more money into the town you live in, and the town you live in thrives. And as a person living in that town, you're better off. But that seems to have, gone by the by. And it seems that the reason we have people in charge is so they can have money and you can go to war. That's it. That's basically it. Like, we need people to go to war for us, to die for their beliefs, their country, their whatever. We need people to go to war for us, and we can earn lots of money. And that seems to be the way that it worked from when the kings came into power and decided they would look after the people as long as they, went to war for them, because they wouldn't be able to fight a war on their own. If somebody invaded the country, they would need someone to fight for that country, which, nobody owns land, so nobody should be fighting for land, which is, something that's happening at the moment. The powers that be seem to think that there's an interest in land and, homes and minerals, or just countries. We want this country because, we, it just makes me laugh. People talk about Ukraine and Russia, and that Putin, has a reason for doing this, that, and the other because of what's happened in the recent past. So Russia invaded Ukraine in the 19 flipping 10s, 13s, whatever it was, way, way back, more than once. Has nothing to do with recent history. Russia invaded Ukraine probably twice already, 3 times already, maybe. It's like, why are you trying to say that Putin has got a reason to do what he's doing because Ukraine, this, that, and the other, or because the NATO did this and blah, blah, blah did that? No. It's the exact same reason as Russia invaded Ukraine 100 years ago, or 50 years ago, or however long ago it was. It's the same thing. And when you stop having, the bullshit or trying to accept the bullshit, when you look at what happened, you think, well, hang on. And if that's the case, if it's because NATO said this and they wouldn't, you know, step any further or any closer to Russia, or they wouldn't do this and wouldn't do that, and they made agreements, etc., etc., etc. And I understand if those things were done, then, Russia would have an argument. But don't say it's because of that, because Russia already invaded Ukraine 100 years ago, close to 100 years ago. And then, again, and they invaded other countries, and it had nothing to do with that agreement that people are saying is the reason why there's a war. So it's bullshit. Don't try and hide behind a whole load of bullshit. If you invade Ukraine because there's a reason you invade Ukraine, then come out and say that's the reason. But behind that, you don't own any land at all. This is all God's earth. It's his land, and you live on his land rent-free. And no one has a right to say that they own it. God gave kings to people because they said, well, they've got a king, we want a king. So we gave kings. But he doesn't need there to be kings. He doesn't need there to be presidents. He doesn't need there to be Tsars. He doesn't need there to be emperors, whatever it is. He doesn't need that. That's something that he allowed the people on this planet, or other planets, however it works on other planets, I don't know, to have someone to guide them. I don't think they were supposed to rule over them. I think they just wanted somebody to, guide them and take care of them and do those sort of things. Not that would tax them to, to the very last penny and make them work so hard. I don't think that was the intention. But, maybe God knew that. Maybe he knew that would be the case. So, well, you wanted it, I gave you it, don't blame me. It's sometimes in the reality of any life, you should get what you deserve. But in this matrix, you don't. You don't get it. But you get that because that's what you wanted. Now, people keep going on about Hitler this, Hitler that, blah, blah, blah. But Hitler wasn't the only person that did that sort of thing. He just wasn't. If you believe, what we've been told. If you go back in history, there have been many people that have done that sort of thing. The reason Hitler gets so much stick is because it was the Jews. There are many people, including the English, British, whatever you want to call them, who took over, most of the world, the Romans, blah, blah, blah. And they, like World War, you got Alexandra, taken over. You got flipping Caesar taken over. You got the British Empire taken over. Persian Empire. You got all of these empires taking over the world, and it's like, well, weren't they world wars as well? Like, seriously, didn't they try and take over the world, same as all of these so-called recent wars? It's crazy. People just forget. Like hundreds of years ago, there was a Persian Empire, there was a British Empire, there was a Roman Empire. Attila the Hun, blah, blah, blah. Go on and on and on. Like, war isn't just a new thing. It hasn't just come along. These people went around the world and tried to own it. A world that doesn't really belong to them. A world that belongs to everybody. Not just everybody, everything. The creatures on the earth. The plants on the earth. Everything. The water. All of it. And it's crazy that people say World War I and World War II. It's like, well, hang on a minute. What happened? These empires stretched around the globe. Like the British Empire was, Asia and everything. All of it. Everything. Not bragging about that. I'm just saying that's what it was. It was around the globe. the globe that they knew of then. And then, went to the US. And then they got kicked out by their own lot because they didn't want them there. But it wasn't even their country. It was a country of a whole load of different people who were unable to say, you can't squat here. And I think, I don't know, had they had the same sort of mentality, and I can't speak to them because I wasn't there and I don't know how they work, but had they had the same sort of mentality as the Europeans that invaded them, they may have fought to the last person. Because deep inside them, they know they don't own the land. They know they don't own it. It's not theirs. It's everybody's. So there wasn't a fight for it. They were fighting for a way of life, but they weren't fighting for the land, which is what, the invaders were. They were fighting for the land. They were fighting, to change the way these people saw life. So it was totally different for them. They were just fighting. They were fighting for their way of life. They weren't fighting to stop people trespassing on their land because it wasn't, they didn't see it as their land. Hey Amy, how you doing? Hello everyone. Yeah, people do lack empathy. And the thing with empathy though is you tend to feel what others are feeling, which is why I don't want no one suffering. Because, I tend to feel some of the suffering, even the pain that people are going through. And, that's not good. Like, why would I want to live my life suffering the suffering of someone else when I've already suffered my own suffering? And I've had to switch that off. I've had to turn that off and say, no, I don't want to feel that. Why should I? And that's the, separation that people say, oh, you separate from us and you've done this and you've done that. No, I haven't. You kicked me out. You know what I mean? You forced me away. I didn't walk away. Still here. Still friend to everybody. Still, giving love to everybody. It's not accepted, but I can't do nothing about that. That's not something I can control, so I don't worry about it. Hey, Jeff. Nothing new under the sun, but only one Mario. I don't know. There's quite a few Marios nowadays. Yeah, I think that's what you meant, actually. On that NOE. But yeah, I don't know. Major Forest Work fan set up the thrill of the chase for whatever reason. It doesn't matter. And I've always said, whoever Major Forest Burke fan is to you, that, whatever you believe, I've always said who's who in the zoo. I told you from the very beginning what it was that I was doing. I told you from the very beginning, without the same words that I'm using now, that I don't forgive, that it's not for me to judge. Like, I can't, people going on about the family, this, that, and the other, about Forrest, and no, you shouldn't be doing those things. That's not for us to judge. Like, I say that religion doesn't exist, but there are things in the Bible that, make sense. And one of them is, he who has not sinned, cast the first stone, which is basically, don't judge anyone, because we're all sinners. We're all sinners. Neither of us can throw a stone at anyone. None of us. Like, to me, that's just simple. None of us can throw a stone at anyone. So that means we can't judge anyone. Even though we know what they've done is wrong, what we think is wrong, we can't judge. And we can't cast that stone. It doesn't have to do, I don't care. But to me, if I can't throw the stone because I can't judge them, then I can't forgive them either. That's not me being horrible. That's just me being factual. The fact that I can't judge how serious it is, well, I can't judge how serious your wanting forgiveness is. I can't judge that. because I'm also a sinner who can't cast a stone at you because I'm a sinner. I can't judge you in order to forgive you. I can't forgive you if I can't judge you. It's impossible. It's like it means nothing. Oh, forgive me. Okay. But if somebody says forgive me, then they'll say, why? What have you done? It's like when somebody burps, pardon me, or trumps, pardon me. Why? What do I need to pardon you for? Do I need to judge that? No, I don't. The fact that you've explained yourself or asked that you want pardoning for what it is that you've done, that's it. But you're pardoning yourself. So you should forgive yourself for what it is that you've done. Have empathy with yourself, not expect me to give you it. I may feel it, but I can't judge you to the point that I can give you it. You have to judge you to the point that you can give you it. Or you ask mom and dad to forgive you, because they're the ones that ultimately will give you the karma for what it is that you've done, not me. I won't give you the karma for what it is that you've done. If you do something bad to me, you can bet your bottom dollar that you will get something back without fail. And it will be bad. And I've warned people that that's the case. Because I'm not afraid to say to mom and dad, sort them out. Anyone in the world, don't care who it is. There is nobody more powerful than me, and there is nobody less powerful than me. We're all equal. I don't care who you are, I don't care how much power you've got, and I don't care how much money you've got. If you do dirty to me, you can bet your bottom dollar that you will suffer way worse than I have. That's just the way that it is. Listen, this is important because I have friends in high places and I have friends in low places because I've been to those places and I've made friends with those people. I've made friends with myself. I love myself more than anything because I know who the fuck I am now after going through everything that I've gone through. And I know that at that point in time, when things were bad, there were 3 people in my life that made me get through it. No, 4. Mum and dad, but I count that as 1. So that's God. So mum and dad, me, and the devil. And now the devil is the person that is helping me, along with mum and dad, the angels, the ancestors, passed over loved ones, spirits, whatever you want to, however you want to believe it, I don't care. But important in all of this is the devil is sorting out his own house. Is sorting out his own house. Which means the more the bad things that you do, the more upset the devil's going to be with you. The worse the things that you do, the more trouble he's in. So he needs to stop it. Now, listen, you already know, 1,000 years of peace, fiery pit, blah, blah, blah. That's not going to happen if the devil sorts out his own shit. There will be peace, but the devil will live in peace along with the rest of us. Because the devil isn't the problem. We are the problem. Human beings are the problem. Other entities are the problem. But if those entities are sorted out, then there isn't an issue. Because I understand who the devil is. I've lived that life. He's not the problem. We are the problem. He has no power unless we give him the power. He needs to let you know that. He has no power unless we give him it. Unless we succumb to those suggestions that we ourselves have. So, mum and dad, most powerful force. We all know that because the devil's getting his ass kicked. He only has the power as long as you give him the power. You're getting your ass kicked by an invisible force, which means there is no power from the devil. And there is no power from within you because you're getting your ass kicked. That's just the simple truth. Not being clever, not being funny, not being a smart aleck. That's just it. That's just the case that it is. So, mom and dad, love, doesn't matter how you see it. It really doesn't. You're getting your ass kicked by an invisible force that you cannot, with everything that you've done, with all the money that you have, with the thousands of years old powerful witch doctors or whatever they are, however you want to call them, magicians, wizards, warlocks, nothing works because you don't have the power. Now, you can say you're fighting nature, you can say you're fighting love, you can say you're fighting God, you can say God and Mother Gaia, or whatever it is, the universe, spirits, whatever you want to believe. You can say it's nothing, but you're still getting your ass kicked by nothing. So, listen. So you need to understand what it is that's kicking your ass. And it will, like, seriously, within the very near future, there is going to be a whole shitstorm for some people who have just totally ignored everything that's gone on and tried to carry on with the same bullshit way of life, that they've done for thousands of years. And that's going to crumble. It really is. I've told you about the dominoes. I've already said everything. Those things are going to happen. And you get into the big dominoes, like initially just small dominoes falling, but they get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then they go smaller and smaller and smaller, at the end. But something's going to happen because these people aren't listening. Now, this is not a small thing. This is for creation. This spiritual warfare that's going on, this is for creation. This is not just a chase. This is everything. Every universe, every realm, every plane of existence, quantum, whatever. This is all of that. This is mom and dad taking creation back from the children. And the children don't want it to happen. They don't want it to happen. Because what will happen is there will be a union and there will be a new human evolution. And they don't want that because they're not the power anymore. And this power, top 10 maybe top 7, most powerful, they will know that they are not powerful. That this matrix has started to crumble, will crumble, and existence will change. And this is not their game anymore. This is not their reality anymore. It's our reality. And they are just living in our reality. And they are getting a taste of our reality. In other words, they are finding out what it was like to be us. Like the little man, the poor man, the insignificant poor woman, insignificant person. They're starting to find out what that feels like. And those that haven't yet, who think this is all talk, it isn't your time yet. It has to be done in such a way that those people that are going to be affected by your demise, aren't different than bewildered. Aren't overcome with distress from what they believed the way you people are supposed to be to what they actually find out that you are. And even yourselves, when you find out exactly what you are, like when you sit down and go, like some people already are, sit down and go, actually, yeah, I am a piece of shit. I should never have done those things. Like, as I was taught those things growing up, I should have rebelled against that and said, no, that's not right. Not embraced it as a good thing. And later on in life, that some people embraced it because, you know, they wanted fame, fortune, etc., and they thought it was easy. And they didn't care about people, which is crazy. Like, we should all care about people. We should all care about animals. We should all care about the environment. We should all just care. So this is going to be a quick, you know, I don't want to do a video, then upload it. I just want to come out and do this. So those people that need to hear this will hear this eventually. Or, you know, somebody will tell them about what's going on. With regard to the thrill of the chase, I have a good feeling that news will break soon. If anybody's interested, you know, in the thrill of the chase, like if you're not all just involved in the the stuff that's going on, but that will be part of the, you know, the world stage of nothing is as it seems. We are living in a world where we are controlled by beings that aren't very sympathetic to humans. So the spiritual war exists, it's taking place, but in that, you know, we have, you know, the aliens, we have the dragons and fairies and all those things you don't believe in, who will be stepping up to the plate. And we have, you know, demons, the darkness, who are helping, because it was never a case of, you know, we should be at war. We all have the dark and the light inside of us, and in order to have a powerful light, you need a powerful dark in order to be balanced. And I'm, you know, quite happy, and I think, you know, others are too, quite happy to, you know, embrace that darkness within, accept it, and if necessary, use it. And I think, you know, we'll get to the point where the darkness has to be used, and that will be the worst thing that happens to those people, because at the moment, everything that's happened to them has come from them, just been returned to them, you know, in spades. Not the one that Ben has, but in spades. In fact, I'll go so far as to say as I could probably beat Ben at poker, because he has a tell. But all those people, not all those people, there are people with the darkness in them that are still good people, and they're just not aware of how to appreciate the darkness, you know, within them, or respect it, or whatever the word is. I'm not sure what the word is, to be fair, but in such a way that it doesn't harm them or other people. We're here to learn the light and the dark. That's why we're here. Earth is a school, and we're here to learn. And you can't learn if you're not shown that side. So if you were just told how to do multiplication, you would never know how to subtract, divide, add. You would only know how to multiply stuff. Go forth and multiply, which is slightly different than what people are doing. But in order to get the big picture, you need all the information. In order to act in the correct way, you need to be told how to multiply, how to add, how to subtract, how to divide, how to do all those other things that, help you make a informed decision. And some of that's been denied us because we were forced, down a rabbit hole that, just doesn't seem to end. When in fact, there are lots of different rabbit holes you can go down that bring you out into the light. You can go down into the darkness, come back out into the light, go down into the darkness, come back out into the light, go down into the darkness, come back out into the light, and appreciate everything for what it is. And more importantly, appreciate you for who you are. To get to that self-love. Some people call it, the dark night of the soul. Some people call it experience. Some people call it learning. Some people, whatever, however, it doesn't matter. We all have that within us. And we can fight it, ignore it, or accept it. That's just as simple as it is. And if you ignore it, you're in trouble, because at some point you're going to fall into the trap that these people set, and you're going to enter into the darkness without knowing what it is you're getting yourself into, and it's too late. So life can be lived without spirits, alcohol. So, maybe your soul gets a bit free when you drink, I don't know, but yeah, different. Some people want to fight, and some people want to be, friends with everybody. Or drugs, same thing. People say, I'll get closer to God when I have marijuana or whatever it is, which is, the same thing. So you get closer because your higher self is free, not contained, or whatever it is. I don't know how it works. I don't care. I just know what we've been told is not the truth. What some people are advocating in regard to spirituality may be the truth with regard to the chakras and the pineal gland and the blah. Science will confirm it all, at some point, which is the same as confirming God at some point, because that's what God is. It's science. It's as simple as that. It's a future science that we don't understand. It's energy that we don't understand. They're understanding it now because they're doing all these, psyops and stuff. Like fake telekinesis, fake telepathy, remote viewing, blah blah, all of that. And the thing, I think that it's not known, but it's known. And the places are known. I've put some names down, but there are other places. Those places are known where they have the facilities. That's what they call them, facilities. Where they have the facilities, and the experiments and surveillance of those people that have abilities and how they're trying to tap into those people. It's all known. So nothing that people are doing that is detrimental to the human evolution, nothing that they're doing is unknown. Nothing they're doing is unknown. And because it is known, it's a bit like, if there's a God, why was Hitler around. Like, these things have to happen in order to catch these people doing what they're doing. Like, life has to turn out the way that it is in order for everything to be stopped, because that's what's got to happen. It's all got to be stopped. So you can't just find a few people. It's like, I don't know, you can have 20 snakes. It's no good cutting the head off one snake and having another 19 left still doing what they're doing and not knowing where the other 19 are. So you have to make sure that you can get all 20 snakes. You know, make sure that you know where they are. Make sure that you can track them. And you track them because, you know, they contaminate themselves by attacking other people, and then that, not scent, but that trace of those people goes back to where they went, and then you know where they are. So it goes down to the chaos and the embroidery. The embroidery is the web that I was talking about, is each person connected to the other, making this web all around the world where everyone involved in what's going on, all the different things that are going on, but all not good things. Everyone is connected, and that's the web. That's the embroidery that will help. And now what they're getting because of that embroidery, like these people gone on the run and everything and hiding and whatever, they're all being found. But that web was the initial, right, there's the web, that's everything connected, that's the embroidery, it's all done, and now this is the chaos. Not for good people, this is the chaos for those, the web, the embroidery. So this is the chaos that they're going to feel, and that's what's going to help. And that's going to destroy the embroidery. The embroidery that helped in the initial setting all this up is going to be destroyed by the chaos, the dominoes, the towers, whatever, however people want to see it. And because of that, the world is free. But not just this world, because those people have infected other worlds and other beings. So this embroidery that was here is going to affect the embroidery of all the other worlds and all the other creations. So first was the embroidery where they set everything up, which is what they did for thousands of years. And now comes the chaos, which is going to tear everything down, which is the forest fire. Once the forest fire goes through, or the Hollywood fire, or whatever you want to term it, once that goes through, then there's a new creation. There's an evolution of the human race and all the other races in the way that it was meant to be. Can I make it happen the way that it's supposed to be? This is God's creation, and it will happen the way that it's supposed to be. And we won't live in this dog eat dog, rat race type of world anymore. We'll live in an unconditional love with peace and prosperity. That's how we'll live. That's what this is meant to do. And confirmation, nothing that anyone can do can stop it, because the dominoes are falling. The whole point of the web is to connect all the domino pieces, and you tip one and they all fall. And they can't break the web because they're already not contaminated. They're already what's the word? Not targeted. Already tracked. So they've set up the web. They've not infected, but they've ended up dosing themselves with the energy of those people they attacked, and now that energy is going to not infect them, but they'll get an allergic reaction, and they'll take that with them. And then they won't be able to touch those people, but now we know where they are because of the trail that they lead to themselves. So it doesn't matter where they go, the signature that they have will be traceable. And that's just the way that it is. And that's the way that it had to happen. That's the only way it could happen. But we had to find out who everybody was, like who's who in the zoo, which is basically how I started these videos. Like who's who in the zoo. And Forrest was supposed to be the guide, the mentor, the fishing guide, whatever, was supposed to be that person. That person that was going to help, like, the Eric Sloan to Forrest Fenn, Forrest Fenn to Douglas Preston, whatever. Forrest was supposed to help someone. With the Force. He was supposed to help Luke. Obi-Wan was supposed to help Luke. And, he was going to protect the Finder and he's going to do this, that, and the other. In order that the chosen one, the job applicant, the whatever it is that people want to talk about, want to say that it is, was able to do the job that this treasure hunt was supposed to do. However Forrest thought that was. It was written by a higher hand. And that, knowingly or unknowingly, to Forrest is what happened. Don't touch not my anointed. No weapon form shall prosper. Blah, blah, blah. People go around and say, oh, how is it possible that, with all these efforts that we're doing to stop this person doing what they're doing, saying what they're saying, how is it possible that they're still, not affected by the things that we do? Well, they were told. They were forewarned, thousands of years forewarned of, what would happen. And this is where we are. It doesn't matter whether it's me or one of 144,000 people that is, the chosen, the one that has the power, the one that will align with the divine in such a way that God walks among us. That's how it's supposed to be. The power of God is here among us. And you will experience that because you're supposed to experience that. We were told, I said before, they have to tell you what it is they're going to do. It's part of the, whatever it is, unwritten law, written law, the spiritual law, the cause and effect law, the whatever it is. You have to be told what it is that people are going to do before they do it. That's part of it. And, basically I'm telling people what's going to happen before it happens in order to give them a heads up, which is what they do. We're going to screw you over. You have the ability to read it in that place in Washington where all these politicians, write all this stuff and say, look, this is what's going to happen, etc., etc., etc. And nobody takes any notice, and then they get screwed over, and then they start complaining. So these videos are out to tell you that things are going to happen, and they're going to happen in such a way that the rich people who are anti-human, the human existence that we're supposed to have, or anti-creation, anti-creation. Those people who are anti-creation, they're going to find out the hard way that power is not money, or money is not power, whichever way you want to look at that. And again, I don't care whether you believe me or not. It's not about, I'm not here to make people believe me. I'm not here to make people agree with me. I'm not here to make people like me. I'm not here to give people, to get people to subscribe to me. That's not why I'm here. I'm here to put out a message that is a truthful message to the best of my knowledge, to the best of my ability. That's why I'm here, which is what I told you from the very beginning. And I have no sides. I don't care. Like, you're allowed to do whatever you want to do. It's called free will. I don't care what you do. If it hurts me, it hurts me. I accept that it hurts me. I'm not going to judge you. It's the person you are. Fine. I have to accept that. That's the kind of person you want to be. Fine. I can't do nothing. But what I can do is say, look, have you seen what this person has done to me? Well, that's not fair. So make it fair. And then they make it fair. But then they add on a bit because that's what God said would happen. And it's happening but you still don't believe that that's the case. And yet it's still happening right now to people around the world. And these evil people that people look up to are getting called out. And they're trying to deflect it, onto Trump and Musk and everyone else. Oh, we never vote for Elon Musk. It doesn't matter who you vote for. It's all bullshit. Just live a good life. Just live a good life. Don't worry about other people. You live your good life. Everything else will sort itself out, including these wars, including these politicians, including the celebrities. Everything will sort itself out now. All of it will get sorted out. And those people will be brought to task. And us, as lesser beings, as they see us, will have the world that we want to live in, where we get what we deserve. At the moment, it's starting to be that way. And it will get better. But at the moment, it's starting to be, you get what you deserve, because the bad people are getting bad karma, and the good people are going to get good karma. But as we move on and all the bad people have had their bad karma, then it'll just be good people getting good karma, or the majority of people getting good karma that are good, because they've seen what happens when you're bad, because that's how people work. Like, they have to see it before they believe it. Well, now they're seeing it. And so are good people. Good people are seeing it. And it will affect some good people, because they'll see people that they think are good getting bad karma. And it may upset them, but, God works in mysterious ways. And that's just the truth. And he has to do it in such a way that people listen. And, I started these latest videos with, I don't want God, mum and dad, love, nature, spirits, aliens, whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, don't care. I don't want them destroying the world to get rid of the bad people and getting rid of good people as well. Just to stop this BS. I don't want another Noah. I don't want God coming to me or anyone else and saying, listen, you need to build a big ark, put all this DNA and all these cells and whatever into this boat so we can, regenerate these animals again, or, build creation again from this, DNA. Is it DNA? Cells. Like you do cloning. So I don't want God to say, look, you need to put all this stuff together of these animals, of these plants, of these humans, whatever. You need to put them all together on this boat, and then we're going to save it. And then when the earth flooded, or, built in fire or whatever, however God was going to destroy it, probably another flood, but when that subsides, whilst you're in there, you can clone these animals again and clone these people again and, start all over again. However it is, whatever it is, I don't care. And it makes more sense that it's that easy than, having a load of smelly animals 2 by 2 walking into an ark. So we had a lot of technology before, and that's gone, and we started again. And I don't want that to happen again. I want us to stick with what we've got, change the way of thinking of people to a higher state of consciousness, in order that more people believe in God and themselves, and more people love themselves and everything else. That's the sort of world that I want, which is not too dissimilar to the sort of world that Forrest told us. Why can't everybody just get along? So that's why I'm doing these videos. And if we get to that point, which, I understand there's going to be some, gets worse before it gets better. And people say, well, if there's a God, why this, that, and the other? Well, in reality, God could just smite us all and that'd be it. That's it. Like that power. There is that power that can do that. Like if you consider one angel has the power of 100 and so many thousand men, which is written down as history. One angel, I can't remember the person now, but some narcissistic king. I'm sure you can, look it up. It won't take long. Some narcissistic king went to pick on the town. The bloke prayed. Can't remember him either. He prayed to God, said, look, we're in trouble. This king has flattened everybody in his path in Jerusalem. It was Jerusalem. Flattened everybody in its path. I think it was Jerusalem. Anyway. It's a message. Flattened everything in its path, and God sent one angel and destroyed all of those. Not all of them. Most of those soldiers. Like overnight. And that king woke up and his men were dead, and he's like, oh, don't tell anybody what happened. Let's go back and say, whatever. A disease. Yeah. A disease killed my men. And he went back. And like one angel who just that's it. You're gone. One angel. One. In this world, we would say, oh, they never even got a shot off. Like nobody fired a gun. And this one angel went through the camp. And they just left there. No marks on or nothing. So, you need to listen. If God wanted to, this was overnight, so many thousand men killed overnight, one angel. If you had 1,000 angels, like they'd go through towns, and within a year there'd be nothing left. Just angels, just doing it that way. That's not the power of God. That's just an angel. So, if God has more power than the angels, you can imagine what he can do, considering creation is his. And it's like, these people keep pushing and pushing. Poking the bear was what I'm getting. Poking the bear. You keep poking the bear, and at some point the bear will wake up. And now you realise what it's like when the bear's awake. You start running. It's too late. Too late. You shouldn't have poked the bear. You shouldn't have poked it. So that's like what I'm getting. Poke the bear, see what you can get, see what sort of reaction you get, see what sort of reaction you can get. And now you've got a reaction. You're like, oh shit, I've got a reaction. Crazy. Don't poke the bear in the first place. Like, what's the point of poking the bear? So the way that I see it, the bear's awake, not just one bear, like you poked a whole load of bears, and they're all awake, and they're all a bit miffed, but they're not miffed enough to strike. Like, what's happening to you is because you're running away so fast, you're tripping over and hurting yourself and running into trees and whatever it is. Like, oh, the bear's awake. Those sort of things. Like, it's really bad things happen to you because you kept poking the bear. But at some point, like when you run into a tree and nearly knock yourself out, the bear's going to catch you up. And then what's going to happen? Like, you can't blame the bear for doing it because you poked them. So you can't blame the bear. And nobody is going to blame the bear if they catch you. So you shouldn't have done it. You shouldn't have done it. You just shouldn't have done it. So at the moment, you're running into the trees and tripping over and, getting bad things happen to you because you've been poking the bear. At some point, I'm just telling you the truth, at some point the bear will catch you. That's just the way it is. At some point the bear will catch you. And when the bear catches you, I don't hold out much hope for you. I really don't. Now, if you imagine, I'm not saying that, God is the bear or mom is the bear or whatever. But if you imagine that you were poking mom and dad and you got them angry. Oh, wow. Wow. Like, mom and dad we're in their image. We're light and dark. So mom and dad aren't just all like lovey-dovey, nice. They're just not. They're just not. And I'm pretty sure that whatever the devil could learn, he learned off mom and dad. And with statements like vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, you have to be pretty certain they ain't going to be too bothered about doing the dirty on you if you deserve it. So far, he hasn't. But who's to say there ain't going to be another Noah? I don't think that's the case. I'm telling you, that's not the case. There ain't going to be another Noah. But there is going to be some recompense, some retribution, lots of RE stuff. Retribution, redemption, lots of RE stuff. Many RE words coming through. Many RE words. There's going to be a lot of that. Reflecting. There's going to be some of that going on. Some reflecting on the sort of person that you've been throughout your life. There'll be some of that going on. But definitely a lot of RE words. Not religious education, although some people might see it as that. So God exists. He is kicking ass. He's going to kick more ass because we're at that point that people aren't listening and miracles have to be seen, to some to actually go, oh crap, yeah. So at that point, obviously too late, but miracles have to be seen before people believe. And that's stupid because at that point it's too late for you. If you have to see a miracle before you believe in God, and no coming back from that. No. Ask, the people in history that came against those that God saved. Ask Goliath. Ask the Pharaoh chasing Moses. Ask the people of Jericho. I was going to say Jonah because he was in the whale, but you have to ask the whale that. But there are people in the Bible and evidence of these things taking place. The only problem is I wasn't there. I wasn't there. So I have to go on what is more likely the truth. And the truth is, I am the light and the way. I am the it and the how. And if you want to learn how to be the it and take it in the canyon down, not far but too far to walk, the walk of life, then you need to listen. The only way to the Father is through me, Jesus said. In other words, my teachings, the things that I tell you, the things that I do, the way that I behave is the way that you should behave. And if you don't, then you won't see the light and you won't know how. Therefore, you'll never get to the Father. And again, I tell you, hell is not for humans. God doesn't want to put humans in hell. It's not for humans. And I don't see that God is the type of person that says, do as I say, not as I do. Because we're supposed to do what he does. Like behave the way that he does. Behave the way that he says. Now some people say, don't swear, it's a bad thing to do, to swear. Like they tell their kids, even though they swear, they tell their kids they can't swear because it's bad. Is it bad? If it's bad, why are they doing it? Why is it okay for them to do it? Because they're old enough to do it? So if it's bad, and nobody should do it. No one should do it. No excuses. If it's bad, and no one should do it. You don't get excused because you're old enough to swear. That's stupid. If it's a bad thing, it's bad to shoot somebody. You can't say, oh, I can shoot somebody because I'm old enough. So it either is bad or it isn't bad. And we need to get to the what is bad, what is not bad, which is what Kiwi said at the beginning. His life, the way he lives his life, is based on what he's interacted with throughout his life. That's what made him the man that he is, the person that he is. He's living in the life that he's lived with everything around him that he's seen, heard, had experience of. If that was a corrupt teaching, we're screwed. We're screwed. If the teaching that we had, if we are the person that our life that we've had, have made us, we're screwed because it was corrupt teaching. So we need to get back to real teaching and being the real people that we are, not the people that we've been made within the matrix that we live in. So that matrix falls, our way of life changes. Those people are no longer with us, or they are with us in the way that we live our life, believing and doing the things that we're supposed to believe and do to have a successful and peaceful life, prosperous life, a prosperous life. So peaceful, prosperous, loving life for everyone. I am the light and the way, said Jesus. I am the it and the how, the spirit and the how. Live a life that is righteous. Is that the right word? Justified. Live a life that is justified. And all is good. But not your justification. Not what you see as justification. Like the person that's suffering at the moment, or the people that are suffering at the moment. Not how you justified yourself, saying, oh, I'm right in doing this, this, and this, and this, and this, because you're obviously now, and I'm not being clever or nothing, you're obviously now seeing that what you have been doing was not justified. But the fact that you can do that means you're on the path to having a better life. It's that simple. The fact that you can see that what you did. So people talk about the ego death, and that's what needs to take place. These narcissists that have run the world, these arrogant, self-righteous people, need to let go of the ego. And I'm the agitator. If you come at me with ego, you find that I don't accept it. I'm not getting at people, but there are people, and you know, in my videos that have come at me with the wrong attitude, and I have told them, don't come at me like that. I mean, I don't see them much anymore, like Imagination of Innocence and that, but I don't see them anymore. I don't even see Paul anymore. I don't see half of those people that came at me with the wrong attitude. Because at some point, please listen, at some point, if you come at me with the wrong attitude and it doesn't sit well with mum and dad, they will let you know. Not me. I'm not judging you. I don't care. You can say what you want. I don't block anyone. The more you do that is detrimental to me or hurtful to me or harmful to me or whatever, the more you do that is against me, the more karma you bring to yourself, because I'm not reacting or trying to impose myself on you, my will on you, or trying to get into an argument with you, or trying to beat you or defeat you, or whatever it is. Okay. You be who you want. You be who you want, and then karma will sort out the sort of person that you are. I don't need to. I don't need to care that you're a narcissist. I don't need to worry about that. That's not for me to worry about. I don't need to care that you want to hurt people. It's not for me to worry about. I don't care. Because at some point, what you put out, cause and effect. Don't get me wrong, there will be times where I will get angry. And I will want to react in that anger. And that's okay. If I can justify it. See how that works? If I can justify that I acted in a righteous way in anger, I'm happy with that. I'm okay with that. And I will accept whatever karma comes with it. I will accept it. But you better believe, if you bring me to that dark place, and I act, you will know. You will know that I tapped into that darkness that balances the amount of light I have. You will know that. And you will know it because I've expressly, Mum and Dad, I've let them know what you did, and I justify my action to correct what it was that you did do. I know you're probably looking at my hands again. Oh, look, he's got the crescent moon, he's got this, and he's got that, and got the other. I don't know. But trust me, this is not for me. I don't care. I don't care. Well, it is for me, I suppose. It's for me. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. I want this world. I want this world. I want it to happen. I want all the worlds to happen. I want everything to happen. Not, for me, because I want to be in that world. So it's for me. It's selfish. It's for me. I want to be in that world, but I want to be in that world for everybody, not just for me. But I suppose I want it for me. If that world exists, then I'm better off. So I want it for me, but it's not just for me. I'm not doing it just for me. This is not just for me. I don't want to be the person that I will be, that I am. I already am. I don't want to be that person that I am. Didn't want to be that person that I am. I became that person because of everything that happened. And you can become that person because of everything that happened. If you just believe or have faith in a maverick. So thank you for watching. I thought 144,000 were the saints. Well, it depends who you listen to. And that's the issue, isn't it? That's the issue. So we were not there. The way I see it, based on everything that I've come across, is the 140,000 are the people or the souls or whatever it is that have been persecuted throughout the existence of these beings, entities, or whatever, and they are present now, all together, in the same place at the same time, which is why there's only 144,000. Because people say, no, it's of the dead, the dead, blah, 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 all of these people. And there's only 144,000. Because you just get reincarnated. So it's the same soul in different people who are here together at the same time, who are going to sort out the new world. I'm not saying you're wrong, Nikki. I'm not. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. What's important is who or whatever they are is here now to help jumpstart the learning curve, to start all over again with creation, to realize human existence or human evolution or whatever it is, God's creation, whatever you want to believe. It doesn't matter. I'm not here to argue with anyone. Whatever you want to believe is fine by me. I don't care. If you want to believe in religion, if you want to go to church, if you want to do all of those things, fine. You do it for yourself. Don't try and get anybody else to do it. You do it for yourself. You go there. When Judgment Day comes for God to do whatever he does, and he says, well, you didn't actually believe in me. You believed in these words that these people wrote, which is nothing to do with me. You know, I'm not going to worry about you. Like, it's important to find God, not a book, not a church, not anything. He wants a relationship with you. She wants a relationship with you. Mom and dad. You need to find them. You need to believe in them. You need to know them. That's what this is about. You need to know you. You need to know them. You need to be one consciousness. It's like one, I said before, one brain. We're all in that one brain. And that brain just thinks for itself, like all for itself. And you're all thinking independently in that brain. But basically, you're all in the same brain. You're all supposed to work together. You're all supposed to think together. You're all supposed to help each other. You're all supposed to be good to each other. You're all supposed to love each other. And that's the only way I can explain it. Now, I don't care whether you believe it or not, but that is it. That is it. So, and the sooner people start realizing that really we're just one thought, one energy, one thing. We're all just one thing, all separated into lots of different things. The sooner you realize that, like, imagine you're in a barrel of apples and you're all one. And in that barrel, you've got bad apples. Pretty soon, you're all going to be bad. So you don't want that. So you have to separate the bad apples from the good apples in this brain. You have to separate them in order that the whole brain, the whole barrel, is full of good apples. That's it. I can't make it any simpler than that. So it doesn't matter who they are. For saints, I've heard so many versions. Yeah, like I say, that the versions don't matter. That's like saying it's Christianity or Catholics or whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's 144,000. If everybody agrees there's 144,000 of whatever they are, whoever they are, that's going to happen. That thing is going to happen. Whatever you want to believe doesn't make any difference. It will happen. If they're monkeys, they're monkeys. If they're dogs, they're dogs. If they're whatever, they're whatever. It will happen because it's supposed to happen. And there's no point in arguing whether they're saints or people or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. None of us were there. None of us have the truth. From going forward, we will all have the truth. From now going forward, we will all have the truth. And I've asked for people, these rich people, these powerful people, these elite people, these naughty people, who have the truthful information about our past, to give out that information. To help them, not me, not us, not the future, because the future is going to have that information. Like, we're going to go forward into the future with the information that they're suppressing. That's what's going to happen. We'll go forward with the information that they're suppressing. They will just get worse karma. What's happening in the Pope and everything, what's happening in the Vatican. Those things need to come out. The information needs to come out around the world. The information needs to come out. Some of it is coming out in drips and drabs. But going forward, there'll be a clean slate, and we will have that information, and we will have a history, a new history, a real history, a new history. We will have the real history from what happened, and a new future history for what's going forward, if that makes sense. So going forward, we will have the history from the past rewritten, so we will know what actually happened in the past and why the Matrix was set up and how it's set up and who set it up and the people that were, confirmation. The bad people that changed our history. So they did something very bad to make it suit what they wanted, not what was happening already. So they didn't appreciate what was happening. They wanted it different, and now they've got it different. And going forward, there will be a new future and history. So our old history will be rewritten as it really happened, what it really was, from the Sumerians and the Anunnaki and etc. Whatever, from wherever it was, from chaos if it has to be, from the beginning of time, all the way to whatever you want to believe, in their name, whatever her name is, or Gaia, or Asherah, or whatever it is, whatever the truth is, God's wife, whatever the truth is, will be revealed. We will have that history written, and then going forward, we will live in a different way than we have been living, and it will be a new future and a new history because of that. So, again, wasn't there, don't know, but it could also mean that they were celibate at such time as they come into effect. So they are, a bit like me, separated from the outside world and not in a relationship and whatever. So again, not there. So the words that are written may not be holy, as in two different ways of saying that. Holy, fully, holy as in holy, mum and dad, correct. But again, I wasn't there. I don't care. I only know what's the truth. The truth is, at this point in time, there are chosen that these bad people are targeting for their energy in order to keep the matrix going. That's been stopped, and they're suffering, and they will suffer even more. The more they try, the worse it will get for them. And those 144,000, I don't know whether there's an original chosen one, an ancient being who's coming back. Thoth wrote about an ancient being coming back. If anybody's interested, go read about it, go listen about it, about an ancient being coming back doing the things that are being done now. Some of you probably don't know who he is, who it is, what it is, who they are, whatever they want to be called, however it wants to come across. Wrote about an ancient being doing what was being done now, but talking about the end times. Well, the end times doesn't necessarily mean the end of everything. It can mean the end of the matrix, the end of one thing, and the beginning of something else, which is the same as the Mayan calendar and everything else, the bullshit that was written. So could be. Don't know. I'm just looking at the passage in Revelation that speaks of this. I want good things. I want good things for me. I've had a lot of bad things, but thanks, Nikki. I want good things for me. But I want good things for everybody. That's the problem. In me being selfish, I want good things for everybody. Because then if everybody's in a good place, I'm 100% certain that I'm in a good place. I have no fear. Everybody else is happy. I know I'm going to be happy. But I'm not going to be happy if other people are miserable, because at some point in time that misery will come to bite me at the backside. So, most of Revelations is done and over, starting with destruction of temple in Jerusalem. Is that Satan was cast into the abyss? Funny names. Are they the same people that Adam and Eve met? Resurrected the Satan in the 7th century. Yeah, like I say, and I can believe that, but like I say, I wasn't there, so I have to go on everything that I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying how I see the world is what can be verified both physically and mentally, like deep thinking, search using logic. It has to make sense. If it doesn't make sense, it's like, well, no, it doesn't make sense. So there's no point. I'm not even going to entertain that because it doesn't make sense. So, yeah, that's scripture. We are just waiting for the Satan to be defeated. Satan is currently for people of ancient Israel. Modern is not from ancient. No, absolutely. Datum was a typo. Yeah, I gathered that. Thanks. Yes, so Satan, like people say Satan's one thing, devil's the other, blah, blah, blah. Satan may be, the dark entity in the pit that, how deep is the hole, these people are feeding, giving the energy to, etc., etc. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Satan, devil, Lucifer, Jack, whoever it is, it doesn't matter. It is over for them. It's already happening. They're living out the movie, the book, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. If it's the book, if you want to say it's the book, it's Revelations, and they're living out the book word for word, whatever it is, however it is. I don't care. That's it. They're living out the book. I prefer to see it as a movie. Here's the movie. It's already written. We're all actors. We're playing out in this movie, and it's already written. You can't change anything. It's going to play out. It's going to play out. The only way you can change it, please. The only way you can change it is, God, I am sorry. I do not want to play this role. This role that you've got me written down in this book, Revelations, whatever it is, or in this film, whatever it is, doesn't matter. I don't want to play this role. Because this role gets me thrown into an abyss, a pit, a whatever, Barclay pit, gets me thrown into a pit, and I'm done for 1,000 years. I don't want to be that person, that entity, that being, whatever it is. I don't want to be that. That's it. I don't understand what the confusion is. It's already written. I don't know if it's written in stone, but it's already written. Like even those things are coming out now. Tablets and stones and the emerald tablets. Stones coming out with writing on it that AI's reading or people are reading and going, oh my word, look what's happened here. This is not what we need to be true. Like stuff is being revealed. The Ethiopian stuff is being revealed. The stone tablet thing that's been read. And it's like, oh, that's not what we were told. Like all of these things are coming out, but there is more important information that's being hidden still. Because these people don't want it to come out. And it's like, why don't you want it to come out? It's going to come out. There's nothing you can do about it. It makes me laugh. There's nothing you can do about it. The script is written. Like if you want to call it Revelations, then it's Revelations. And the book that was written, it's playing out. And nobody can deny it. It's playing out. It's playing out. And everything that you try and do to stop it is already part of the script. It's already part of the script. You will get to the end of the film, the end of the book. It will just happen the way that it's supposed to happen. Can I make it happen the way that it's supposed to? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. It's going to play out. Stop fighting it. It's going to play out. There's nothing you can do. The worst that can happen is Megiddo, whatever. The worst that can happen. And you lose that. So you're better off not even doing it. Like, it's pointless. Everything's pointless. It's pointless. I'm trying to tell you, just offer yourself up, admit that, maybe you did a few wrong things. Maybe you need to have a, talk with yourself, sit down in a dark room and contemplate what it is that you did wrong. Otherwise, it's going to end badly for you. I don't know. Trying to help. People don't want to listen. But yeah, 100%. That's what I'm saying. There's information trusted that is coming out, that's been out, that is verifiable, which I'm trying to be saying all along for the last 5 years. I'm only telling you the truth. I don't care whether you believe it. I don't. It's not for me to judge whether you believe it or not. It's not for me to make you want to believe it or not. It's for you to decide that actually that idiot that I hate, he's talking some sort of sense. He's talking some sort of truth. I don't have the information that Trusted has. I don't. I just have the truth that I know that is the truth. I don't care about all the other stuff. I care about what I know to be true, and I'm telling you what I know to be true. But part of that truth is it's already written. And these people know it's written. They know it's written. And they're trying to do everything they can to stop it. So hang on. You know the prophecy. You know these things are going to happen. You know that it's going to come to pass. and you want to do everything you can to stop it. And I said before, it's like you watching a race. You watch a horse race, and you see the order that all the horses come in. And then when you watch the race again, you're trying to change the outcome. You already know the outcome. Why are you trying to change the outcome when you know what the outcome is and it isn't going to change? It's going to be the outcome. Every time you watch that, every time you watch this film that you're in, to the end, it's going to be the same outcome. Unless you're the jockey on the horse who does something different. That's it. That's it. You already know what the outcome is. You already know. And you already know because God has shown us it's verified. The information given to us has come to pass over and over. Remember, Forrest? Over and over and over. Read it over and over and over. Understand the meaning of a generation won't pass away when things happen. Doesn't stop. A revelation event happen. Yeah, it does, because if something happens, it will change. If something happens different than what is happening, it will change the event that happens. So therefore, everything that they do is not going to change the final outcome. It's not going to change it. The race will still play out the same way, irrespective of what they want to try and do. It will play out the same way because it already happened. There is no such thing as time. The past is merging with the present, and the future is merging with the present. It's all the same thing, which means the Bible's written before, and now it's playing out now, which means it's already happened. It doesn't matter what you do because the end of the film has already ended. But we're at the beginning of the film. We're at the beginning of the film. We don't know what's going to happen. We have no idea what's going to happen in the film. And while we're watching the film, we're making guesses. What if we do this and do that and do the other and do the other? No, it's still going to end the same way. It's still going to end the same way because it's already been made. It's already ended. It's already ended. It's finished. We're still halfway in the film, but the film's already finished. With the outcome of the film, it's already finished. You might be sitting halfway through the film thinking, oh, I wonder what happens next. It's already ended. It doesn't matter what you're thinking. Oh, I think that so-and-so should do this, and I think so-and-so should do that, and I think so-and-so should do that. No, it's already written. It's already going to end. And the fat lady's going to sing. Absolutely. As diabolical as it is, like these things that Forrest was talking about. As diabolical as it happened, the fat lady will sing. That's it. Irrespective of what everybody else thinks that they can do to change it. There is no time. It doesn't matter. The book was written a long time ago. The film was made whenever it was made. It doesn't matter. It ends the way that it ends. That's the verification. These events took place as they were said they were going to be taking place, which means the ending is going to be the same ending. It's going to be the same ending. There is nothing anyone can do that will change the ending because it's already written. Which is what I don't understand from people. It's already written. The film will play out the way that it's meant to play out. The ending will be the ending that it's supposed to be. Can I make it happen the way that it's supposed to be? He said. Can I make it happen? Can I make it happen the way that it's supposed to be? It's going to happen the way that it's supposed to be. It already has been happening the way that it's supposed to be. There is nothing anyone that will do that can change the way that it's going to happen the way that it's supposed to be. Satan will be cast down. There will be peace for 1,000 years. irrespective of what anybody thinks that they can do to change it, because it's already written. Whoever God is in the past, the present, and the future. He sees in the future what's happening right now. What's happening right now. Because he's everywhere at every point in time. And he knows the end. From the future, he's already seen the end. He knows what these people are going to do. That's why all their plans are known. That's why the things are stopping. It's already known. Which means you will do what you're supposed to do. There is no free will. The only free will is choosing. The only free will is choosing to carry on doing the bad things that you're doing, or change. Your free will is the soul inside you allowing you to do the things you're supposed to do. I said before, the two witnesses that it talks about, how is that free will? They're going to be in that place at that point in time. Which means every free will thought that they had was already planned. Must be. Otherwise they wouldn't be there. It must be. Which says, even if you have that free will that you talk about, someone in the future already knows every thought that you had to get to that point. Because you're meant to be there. So your free will is part of the script that's been written into your head, the consciousness, the one brain that we have. You're just an actor playing the script. You don't realize you're playing the script, but you're playing the script. And you're carrying it out the way that you're supposed to carry it out to get to the point that you're supposed to get to the end that's supposed to happen, to make it happen the way that it's supposed to happen. That's it. Now, if you want to change it, you say something like, well, can I make it happen the way that it's supposed to be, the way that I want it to be? Can I make it happen? No. It happens the way that God's going to make it happen, the way that it's already happened. Me doing this video already happened 3 days ago, 10 days ago, 10 years ago. Me doing this video already happened. I was supposed to do this video. I didn't know it 10 years ago. I didn't know it 10 days ago. But someone in the future and the present and the past knew it. Can he make it happen the way that it's supposed to be? 100%. She, them, they, it, whatever you believe. Like you're trying to fight something that exists at all points in time, that knows every result to every race, which is why I said I can probably beat Ben at poker, because he has a tell. It's already known. Like the cards are already written, 4 cards and a joker. It's already done. If the person in the future knows what the 4 cards and the joker is, they will be able to tell the person in the past what the 4 cards and the joker is. Because it's already happened. There's the answer. The answers I already know. It's already happened. Even though I'm not there yet. 3 weeks' time has already happened. Tomorrow has already happened. You don't know it yet, but it's already happened. There's no such thing as time. It's already happened. The spiritual war is happening ahead of what we're doing. Already happened. Fighting something that's already happened is pointless. Betting against a race that's already taken place is pointless. Knowing the lottery numbers ahead of time because there is no time. There is no time, which means you can write about the future because to them it's the past. If you're 1,000 years in the future, my future is their past. And they can tell me everything about me in my future because it's their past. And now you know exactly what's going to happen. because it's their past. The only thing that changes is if you want to change your own reality. Then that starts to get a bit weird, which is why we have the Mandela effect. This is going to be a quick video. The Mandela effect. We have the Mandela effect. Reality changes because some person who's powerful enough decides that they want a different reality. And they manifest a reality where that McDonald's logo isn't the same McDonald's logo, where Mickey Mouse didn't have a tail, where the blah, 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 and the blah, blah, blah. Mandela wasn't in prison, and whatever it was, it changes because somebody changes reality. In order, it happens the way that it's supposed to happen. It all comes back to reality. Reality is what it is made to be. There is no such thing as time. Stop worrying about tomorrow. Tomorrow doesn't exist. It's already happened today. 3 weeks' time exists today. 1,000 years' time exists today. If Jesus went to heaven, went forward 1,000 years, 2,000 years, 2,000 years. If Jesus went forward 2,000 years, exists 2,000 years into the future, he will always be 33. When you see Jesus, when you have a near-death experience and you see Jesus, he'll be 33. Whether you died 2,000 years ago, 1,000 years ago, today, you see Jesus, he'll be 33. And if he's 1,000 years in the future, anybody who dies or has a near-death experience and sees Jesus, he will still be 33. Because it's 1,000 years in the future, coming to us now. God will still be a grey-bearded man 1,000 years in the future. Even if he went to Moses 2,000 years in the past, or however long it was. Because he exists then, and now. He will still be 33. If you have a near-death experience and see Jesus, he's still going to be 33. That's just the way that it is. I'm not trying to lie or be clever or be anything. It's just the way that it is. There is no past, present, and future. Only to us humans. To the souls and to the angels and to God and to Jesus and to whatever else. No. Because they're everywhere at the same time. And they already know what happened in their past. Which is why they can tell you what's going to happen. Which is why Nostradamus and people like that can tell you what's going to happen. Because people from the future tell them. Which is why Elon Musk invents all these things. Which is why Edison invented. Which is why Baird invented. They were told, listen, invent this. Which is why Tesla invented. Like that voice inside your head that tells you something, or that intuition, that's not you. Remember, we're apes, like we're hominids, we're Homo sapiens, we're whatever. But we have an intelligent being in us that helps us imagine and create and, be intuitive and whatever. And that's the difference. And people are trying to rationalize this time thing. Well, it happened 2,000 years ago. No, it didn't. It happened right now. To somebody in the past, to somebody in the future, it happened right now. Because it doesn't matter whether it's now or 2,000 years ago. Their present in their future, to them, all of this is happening right now. And they can step into it as they wish. There are no limits. No limit. If you have no limits, right now, I can go 1,000 years into the future. Tell you what, no, not 1,000 years. A few weeks into the future, tell you what the lottery numbers are. Come back to now. Or I can go 2,000 years in the past and look at the three men on the crosses. Because there are no limits. Time has no boundary, no borders. Time, go to borders. It's always raining. Time has no borders. But time, there's no constraint. Time can't hold us. We can be anywhere we want to be. Anyway, this is going on longer than I wanted to. People are just like trying to believe in the 3D reality, and we live in the 5D. We don't need to live in the 3D. It is predetermined. It takes away individual choice. Oh, I don't know. Operated the temple in Jerusalem. That is why. 7,040 BC. What? 7,040. That, a few thousand years away. That is. Tides. So what is buried in the Euphrates River that is drying up? 4 chain rings. Uh-oh. Shit, you lot have been talking. What the heck? I missed all that. Yeah, all of the everything that's been hidden. Like, I'm the truth seeker. Bear in mind, everything that's been hidden is going to come to light, including the treasure. Everything's going to come to light. All of it. Truth is going to come out, and people are going to know what is the truth and what isn't. No, so yeah, so your reality will be your reality. My reality will be my reality, and those people that are on a lower vibration than me won't exist in my reality. Like, they won't understand what it is that I'm talking about, because their reality is different to mine. The things that I think, the way that I think, what I perceive to be true is totally different than what they perceive. Until they can align themselves with my way of thinking, or a higher way of thinking. That's not me being clever or nothing. That's just fact. You know, I'm just the mirror. I point out to people, knowingly or unknowingly to them, doesn't matter. They see themselves in me. And when they're arguing, they're not arguing with me, they're arguing with themselves. Because there's no argument in me. I don't care. I don't care. Like, what it is that you're saying about me has no relevance to me, or importance to me, or concern to me. It has a concern to you. What it is that you're trying to project on me has a concern to you, not to me. So yeah, jumping timelines, whatever it is, people can travel in time. Even now, these evil people trying to go back in time, trying to change whatever it is that happened, but they're being refused that because it's already written. The fat lady is going to sing, sorry, because of the diabolical acts. She is preparing to sing as we speak. I have more planting to do today. Cheers, Trusted. Thanks for popping in. I believe in free will. So you should. And goodwill. So you should. Very possible. Or just two different witnesses that have to be left for 3 days. That bit I don't understand, because if you want to change a prophecy, then you just remove the witnesses. Not a statement. Not much. Nothing interesting anyway, MJ. How are you? Perhaps every option or choice you could make exists as predetermined. Multiverse exists, not every age. But you just shift timelines then, don't you? You just shift timelines. But please listen. Please. Just check it out. Excuse me. The scientists that we have, the governments that we have, already know that all the timelines, the positive timelines, possible timelines, like these are all possible timelines. Timeline. They're all possible timelines because everybody has a choice to make. And these are the possible timelines because people go, oh, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be this. I want to be that. So we have all these timelines. And they already know all these timelines, they will all converge to one timeline. Because the ultimate power will create an environment where nobody wants a different timeline. The only reason we have this free will, we have this choice, we have our multiple realities, blah, 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 and we all think different thoughts, and we want different things, and we have a possible different future because everybody wants something different. But it comes to a point in time where the overriding, all-powerful being creates an environment where nobody wants a different future, where everybody wants the same timeline, where the timeline they're on is a good timeline. They don't want a different timeline. So there's only one timeline in the future that's going to come up. Ask all the scientists. Ask those scientists that know anything. Ask your government who knows anything. Is this true, Mario? Is what Mario is saying true, that there's only going to be one future? Yes. Because nobody's going to want a different timeline. Nobody's going to want that different choice. Nobody's going to want to use that free will that they have because they're not being downtrodden. The only reason you have different timelines is because people want a different future than the one they've got now. They don't want to be downtrodden. They want a different timeline. They want to be rich. They want this. They want that. They want the other. But if they've already got it, which is what I was saying before in different videos, if everybody's rich, there's going to be no crime because nobody needs to steal anything and nobody needs to buy anything that's been stolen. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. There may be the odd person that wants to thrill seek, but that's going to be very rare and the punishment is going to be severe. So nobody's going to do it because they will have already seen the miracles that can happen when people do bad things. The future will exist as it's, can I make it happen the way it's supposed to? Will exist the way that it's supposed to exist for everybody in the same future, the same timeline. Because time doesn't exist. There's no such thing as time. It doesn't exist. We made it up. Everybody's thinking, oh, timeline, time this, time that. There isn't no time. There's no time. You can be 2,000 years in the past or 2,000 years in the future if you want. And you can be right here, right now, living in the now. You're just a meat bag, a meat sack, a water sack, no, a water holder. Like we're just mostly water, 60% water, 80% in your heart and your brain or whatever. You know, the life, creation, whatever it is, however you want to believe it, it doesn't matter. We're just a vessel holding a soul, a energy of one consciousness. Everything that we believe is bullshit. And it's no good quoting everything that's happened, like that people have wrote or people have said, because nothing is as it seems. So I can't understand why people don't understand. Nothing is as it seems. Nothing is as it seems. It's all bullshit. So get used to the fact that it's all bullshit and try and understand, well, how do I move forward? If everything is bullshit, not everything is bullshit. Not everything is bullshit. You're meant to believe something that isn't true. That's where we are. You're meant to believe something that isn't true. Once you know it isn't true, it's easy to see what is true. But if you keep believing and arguing what isn't true to be the truth, then you're going to be stuck in, oh, well, you know, hasn't happened yet. Hasn't happened yet. Yes, it has. It is the Earth destiny keeping us in linear time. No, it is us keeping us in linear time. As long as we believe in linear time, we will remain in linear time. Once we don't believe in linear time, if everybody didn't believe in linear time, there wouldn't be any time. Nobody would give a shit. We'd all be living where we want to live, how we want to live, in whatever time we want to live, whatever place we want to live, because that's the power of God. I'm not sure I vibe with this tribe. The vibe tribe. Hi, Nikki. I'm not sure. No, but time doesn't exist. Casper, it's confusing me. Uh-oh, sorry. Very interesting specimen. Casper, can you answer my email? You know it. Hope all is well with you and yours. You haven't emailed me in a while. Robert McQuaid? I know, but I did. Are you okay? Hello, Robert. Doing awesome. Tomorrow is 46 months. God, I can't work that out. Hopefully you and yours are okay too. You are the man. There you go. Thanks, bro. Hello. So, the sooner we all start thinking differently, the sooner our lives will be different. And by different, I mean, this BS, work hard, get shit on bullshit. Time, got to do tomorrow. Got to do it today because, got to do it, got to do it, got to do it, got to do it. This, that, and the other. Got to work, got to blah, blah, blah. No, it isn't how it was. Someone decided, hang on a minute, I want all that good stuff. I don't want to work for it. So I'm just going to take it. And then came well, how do we hide it from the people? How do we make the people believe, that what we're selling is kosher? So we're just going around the world, invading, invading places and feeding them a whole load of BS. And now the whole world believes the same BS, about Jesus and everything else, in the way that they want you to believe it, in the way that they want you to fear God instead of love God, in the way that they want you to believe some of the stuff that isn't true. But basically, Jesus was telling us that he is a person of the light, which is a spiritual person who believes in, light and love and those sort of things. And he said he is the light and the way, which is, I am the it. This is it, and this is how you be it. This is how you live your life, in order that you are one with God, the one consciousness that we're all supposed to have. That's it. We all live in one brain. Imagine we all live in one brain, and we should all think the same way. And if we all think the same way, we can, not the same way, we can all believe the same thing, think differently, have different lives, but all from the one brain that we've got. So we just meld all our brains together and just become one. So we're just one consciousness. We're just energy. My laptop, energy. My chair, my walls, my wardrobes, everything's just energy. Money, just energy. It's all just energy. Energy, 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 energy. Again, imagine God is watching the telly now. God is watching the TV, and you're on the TV, and you believe that you're living a life, when really you're just part of the film that's playing out, and God's going like that. I've seen this one before. I've seen this before. I know what happens at the end. And that's basically it. While you're in the TV, you think this is your life, this is your reality. When in fact, there's someone outside of your reality, outside of time, outside of space, outside of everything. That's your reality. You're in the film. And you look around and you think it's all real and it's all great and you're controlling everything, when really there's a person outside going, I've seen this. I know how it ends. I'll just turn over the channel. Oh, different timeline, but I know how that ends as well, because it has the same ending. So you can watch different films, you can live your life differently, but the ending is going to be exactly the same, because all those timelines, go speak to your scientists and your governments, all those different timelines are all going to converge into one. They're all going to converge into one, and that's how you make it happen like it's supposed to, because there's just one ending. All those different decisions that you made all through your life have all brought you to this one end. That's it. Which is the new beginning. Not the end, like the Mayan, bring it to the end. The forest fire, the same thing. All of that destruction brings a new beginning, a new life, a different life. And that's what's going to happen. And this time thing is bullshit. And this reality is bullshit. And that's just the truth. And we will head towards this one future, this one timeline, this creation that was already happening once. So it must have been one timeline. Then they took over, invaded us, whatever it is, conquered us, whatever you want to believe, whatever you want. They took over, killed, whatever, changed, whatever it is. Then it split into lots of different timelines because people started to want different things to happen. You could add he won't pay his debts either. Oh, no, I can't believe. Oh, Dave, we're still on about Dave. Is he still going, is he? Oh, I thought he'd given up, never mind. When, Mario? If there's no time, why am I tired of waiting? Because you believe there is a time. Like, people call it a lack mentality. So you think that you haven't got something, blah, 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 so you don't get enough. Like watching paint dry, all of that stuff. Like, just don't contemplate that there is a time that you have to wait for anything. Accept that at some point something's going to happen, and it will happen. But whilst you're believing in this time, then you'll just keep waiting because you're setting a limit to what there is no limit to. Have your reality, believe in your reality, bring your reality to you, and your reality will turn up. Don't wait for somebody else to give you a reality that you want. Create your own reality. He's blocking all of my relevant messages to others, but it doesn't matter. It still localizes messages in my own ways. Absolutely. It will be interesting when the time capsule open next year in Wyoming. Oh, it will be interesting. I can't wait. Maybe we can go on a camping trip. Uh-oh. Maybe this year at the last minute. Who knows? Uh-oh, more time. Keep me informed. If you come from a lack mentality, then you will never feel comfortable with having money or things or fulfilled dreams. And then you'll end up having nothing again. You'll be in lack, which is what millionaires do when they win the jackpot, the lottery or whatever. They don't understand it, and they rid themselves of it through believing that they won't have it, which is why they wanted it in the first place. I'm never going to be rich. I'm not saying that. No, I'm already rich, but I'm never going to be rich. They're saying, not me. Never going to be rich. You know what I mean? Please, I want to be rich. I want to be rich. So let them be rich, and then because they think they're never going to be rich, they aren't. It takes them 3 weeks or whatever, and then they're already poor again. To hide together will be fun. Talk about hiding. People are pretending that they're dead and they're not, and people are going on the run, and it's like they're doing all of these things. I don't want us to go too long. It's already gone long enough. It's gone 2 hours. Oh, the infamous 8. People, I don't know. I don't get it. There is nothing that is being done that isn't all like the answers I already know. The answers I already know. It's not a past or could not be a past tense statement. It could be a future tense statement. I already know what's going to happen in the future. I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying I could tell you the answers I already know is because I know what's going to happen in the future. What you perceive to be the future, tomorrow, next week, 3 years from next week, 5 years from whatever. The answers I already know. If I go 1,000 years into the future and I look back and I collate all that information, if I came back to now, I would know all of those answers. I did a video about if I go to the future, 2030, and I take a statue from the future, I don't know if you can remember it, I take a statue from the future and I bring it back to 2025. And I put it in exactly the same place. That statue already exists before it was made. This time thing, this bullshit. And these people do travel in time. I've already put the statue where it's going to be in the future in 2030. Here it is in 2025. in front of the town hall. There it is. This statue that hasn't even been made yet. So who made that statue that hasn't been made yet? The person that made it. So we go forward to 2028. The statue already exists in 2025. We go forward to 2028, and some person is making that statue, because that's when it was originally made. In the future, is making that statue. In 2030, are you still going to be able to take that same statue and bring it back and have two statues? Or is that person not going to make that statue because it's already been made? If you can go to the future and bring something back, are there going to be two of them? Is the person going to make it twice? Or is the person just going to make it once? Because that person only made it once, and yet there are two statues. Maybe this year at the last minute. Oh, done that. Then why are we here? If there are no choices to be made, then we should. And that's it. That's exactly what I'm trying to say to you. We should just sit back and let our worlds be the world that we can imagine, because imagination is more important than knowledge. But we don't have to do anything but imagine a beautiful life. We're not supposed to be working. We're supposed to believe in God, the universe, love, nature, whatever, and appreciate those things that we can imagine our lives to be. I'd say that'd be great if we could just imagine how good life could be and not have to work so hard. Not for us. Like, I stopped work, which is what these people want me to do, but they didn't realise why. But I stopped work because I don't need to work anymore, because I was already rich, even though there's no, billionaire person sitting here with billions, around living in a billionaire lifestyle. But I'm already rich. I'm already rich in a timeline that is coming to me. That's already happened. I've already made it rich. So I'm already walking into that timeline, or moving into that timeline, or whatever it is that people want to say. It's already happened. You just don't see it yet. So if you can imagine your life to pan out in the way that you want, because the imagination is more important than knowledge, not the stuff that you know, the stuff that's possible, the stuff that you can imagine. Once you can imagine that to be reality, then nobody else can take that away. That's what will be your reality. And I can imagine reality for everybody else, that their reality will be a good reality if they have faith in mum and dad. If they believe like I believe, I ask that mum and dad treat them the way that they treat me. All is good. Because what I've done is, I've got so much love for me, my cup is overflowing. So I've put my love out into the world, the universe, every realm in existence. So the love that I have for me is going to touch everyone. And at some point, that love that loves me is going to come back to me. And I will be loved in the way that I want to be loved, in the way that I know I can be loved, because it's my love. The love that I've put out, remember, what you put out is what you get back. The love that I put out is going to come back to me. Now, some people might not appreciate it and might not want it. And great, I don't want that love coming to me that isn't the love that I want. I want my love to come back to me. The love that I put out into the world is going to come back to me and love me in the way that I want to be loved. I think that's a good thing. So now I not only have love coming back to me, I want health coming back to me, so I'm going to get younger. I want finances coming back to me, so I'm going to get richer. All of those things that I believe are going to happen have already happened. I've asked the universe said, yeah, okay. And now I wait to walk into that timeline that I've created. I've already created it. I've wrote it out. There you go. There's my order. Thank you. And then I get it when it's done. The only thing is, other people are trying to create a timeline for themselves. And they're trying to stall my timeline. Not knowing that I know that they're trying to stall my timeline. And I'm accepting that my timeline will come when the universe has decided that my timeline should be with me. And these people who are trying to stall the timeline will be in their timeline of the karma that they're supposed to receive for trying to stall my timeline for the last 4 or 5 years. And that's how it works. Because I'm prepared to wait. Patience is a virtue. I'm prepared to wait for my timeline to find me in the correct way. I'm not going to take it from someone else. It's going to find me in the correct way, in the way that is deserving and worthy of me. Because I could act like these people and just take it. It's mine. Your effort will be worth the cold. It's mine. I'm deserving of it, so I'll just take it back. But then I'm not worthy of it anymore. So I allow these people to play their games, and it comes to me, and they suffer by doing what they're doing, because that's what's supposed to happen. And I play the game the way I play the game, not the way they play the game. You did something in a past life and you happen upon a familiar space and you hid the gold. Yeah, so this is all about past lives. So I wasn't supposed to suffer in the way that I've suffered. I was always supposed to have this inheritance. But in every life that I've had, they've stolen the inheritance from me, or the gold, or whatever it is. And I've followed the same process and failed each time until this time, when I didn't fail. And they don't understand why. But what they don't realize is I asked for everything that was mine to come back to me, including all the powers that are mine, including all the finances that are mine, including all the health that is mine. Everything that has been taken from me comes back to me and from them. Everything that they've done to try and stop that has gone back to them, and I take more from them. So listen, everything that they took from me originally comes back to me. If you are still taking from me, it's still going to come back to me, and it's coming back to me from you. So the more you do against me, the more you suffer. Remember, I've talked about the mirror. You're hitting the mirror because you think you want to hit me, so you're hitting away and really hitting yourself, because I'm the mirror. And basically you see, it's yourself you're seeing, not me. You think you're hitting me, but it's you that you're hitting. So it's punching away and wondering why it still hurts you, because you're punching yourself and not punching me. I'm not even fighting you. I'm not even interested in what it is that you're doing. You see me when in reality you're fighting yourself. And everything that you're trying to take from the person that you see, being me, which is you, you're taking it and giving it to me, because you're taking it from you. You think I'm you, and you're taking from you, when in fact you're taking from you and giving it to me, thinking that I'm you. I'm not you. I'm not you. You are you. The sooner you realize you are you and stop hitting yourself and stop taking money from yourself and stop wishing a worse life on yourself, the better for you, because I'm a mirror. You're not affecting me. It's not it's affecting you. I'm a mirror. Whatever you do, you're just looking in the mirror and then blaming the mirror for what you see. Like you look in the mirror and go, oh, it's your fault that my hair's a mess. It's your fault that I've got spots. It's your fault that blah, blah, blah. No, it's not my fault. I'm just the mirror. Why are you blaming the mirror? Why are you trying to beat the crap out of the mirror? Why? I don't get it. Stop having a go at yourself. You're not having a go at me. I don't care. It doesn't interest me. How you're thinking, how you're feeling, what you're doing, what you're trying to achieve is of no interest to me. It isn't. Because you're doing it to yourself. Everything that you're doing. Each time you want money to come from me, thank you, I'll have it. Each time you want my life to suffer, thank you, you're going to suffer, I'm going to get more healthy. Whatever it is. Your energy that you put in, I get. The time that you put in, I get. The finances that you put in, I get. Because I'm the mirror. I don't know how many times I can tell you the same thing. The reason you're suffering is because I'm the mirror. The longer you insist that I am not, the longer that you insist that I'm not, the more you'll lose. The more you'll lose. All of you. The whole world. Everything. Everyone that is doing every bad, not just me. I'm not talking about me. I am talking about me, but I'm talking about all the 144,000 that have been abused and brutalized and had hard lives and had stuff taken from them that is deserved to be theirs. They are all mirrors for you. And the more you try to destroy them and the more you try to take from them, the more comes from you. Because you don't deserve to have the lifestyle that you're having because you have abused God's creation. Part of that creation being unconditional love or nature. So before, what do you think nature is? Like nature finds a way. Well, what is nature? What is nature? If nature finds a way, here's nature. Have a look, have a little look around. Oh, no need to do that. Like, what's nature? Like, there are lots of sayings that people say, which really means God or love, spirit, the universe, whatever it is that works in mysterious ways, that finds a way, blah, 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 exists. Something exists for people to keep saying these silly things. That makes absolutely no sense. If nature finds a way, what the fuck is nature? If God moves in mysterious ways, what is God? Who is God? Like, if karma exists, how does it exist? Now, when I say, what if karma exists? What if this? What if that? It does. We know it. It's verified. We know that karma exists. We know that you get back the cause and effect. We know. Well, how does it happen? Who is in charge of it? Who's in charge of making sure that happens? Who's in charge of finding a way? Like, people make these statements. Where does it come from? How does it exist? What is making it happen? Can I make it happen? What is making it happen? What's in charge of everything? How do these things happen? Because there is a power which is way stronger than anything that we know that is putting all the pieces in the right places where they need to be. And if you step out of line, if you do something wrong, it shows you that you're doing something wrong. Because nature finds a way. Because no matter how much you try to destroy something, something comes along called nature. Oh, hello, I'm nature. Oh, what are you doing over there? Let me just go and sort that out. Thank you. Bit of embroidery going on there. God, nature, love, spirit, universe. It doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter what you believe. The truth is, there is something. There is something. You can't deny it. Something finds a way. Something moves in mysterious ways. Something brings about karma. Something, something, something ends the chase. Something. Call God something if you want. But something exists. Otherwise, you would not have the lives that you're having. Because at some point, something happens. You go, ooh, it's a minor miracle, that is. I don't know how that happened. I was just thinking about you. What? That's not you. That's that thing inside you. I was just going to call you. Oh, you pick up the phone. Oh, hello. Something exists that is making everything work like clockwork. Doesn't matter. Past, present, or future. Doesn't matter. Just that embroidery. Just that piecing everything together to making sure it happens the way that it's supposed to. You don't have to believe it, but that's the case. It's the case. Otherwise, people wouldn't say those silly things. Nature has a way. Nature finds a way. God works in mysterious ways. Cause and effect. Karma. Spiritual law. Blah, 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 blah. If those things didn't exist, none of them would be talked about. So they obviously exist. Which means everything that you believe that you've been taught from a little kid all the way till now, all of that good stuff being taught out of you so you can believe all of this crap, this bullshit, so you can live a life under somebody's thumb. Not me. Now, I don't want to live under anyone's thumb. And I don't want anybody under my thumb. I don't want that. And I don't want anybody under anyone else's thumb. I don't want that. I just want people to be happy, loving, and peaceful. And at some point, wars will have to be addressed. People creating conflict needs to be addressed. And it is not thought of very lightly that these people don't care how many lives are lost because of war. But that is some serious karma there. So people need to be careful what they choose to go along with. Let's do it, Casper. Oh, we've done that. David, I'm just going, man. And you're just coming, but it's good to see you or read you. Let's do it, Casper. I'd like to get a couple of things if possible. Email me. Or have arrived. Are you full of coffee, Davy? Hello. Good morning, Davy. Hi, Davy. Judge Natural. Look it up. Oh, nachos. Even that judge, not that judge, but another judge. No, I understand what you're saying, Trusted, but I'm not going to look up anything. That was my argument with mum and dad. You know, it's like, excuse me, my effort was worth the cold. I'm not going to do any more work. Like, I've done my bit. I've done the bit that I was going to do. I'm not going to carry on doing any more. So my belief that there is a higher being and it's leading me to a point in creation in my life, blah, 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 but not a point in time, just, you know, a moment, like live in the now, don't worry about the past, the present, don't worry about the past and the future, accept the present as the gift that it's been given because it's the present and enjoy it. But nachos, yeah, nachos or Nahora, look it up. What sliding doors with so I seem to remember something about that, but I understand what you're saying, Nikki. Same character, do different timelines, which converge to the same ending. Yeah, which is pretty much life. These people know everything we see, and not everything. I keep saying everything, but it's pretty much everything. Like the stuff that we see and read and that are these people telling us the truth without telling us the truth. So they're telling us what's happening, what's possible to happen, the reality, but they're doing it through Hollywood and music and blah blah blah, books. So they can turn around and say, "Look, we told them." They're not listening, or they don't know, or they don't understand. And yet, some people do pick up on it and say, "Oh yeah, this is what's really happening. Um, this is how it's meant to be." So I understand what you're saying. So thanks for that, Nikki. Yeah, so it's different, lots of different timelines all meeting at one point, in a point that is already predestined. It's already meant to happen. These people know it and they're trying to fight it. And it's like, well, why are you trying to fight it? You already know what the ending is. But they're that desperate to hold on to, thousands of years of ruling the worlds. They can't see past their own nose. They know what the ending's going to be. They're still trying to feed the entity, the Satan, whatever it is, whatever they want to believe it is, the black flipping doodah in the hole, whatever. That they think, we don't know, why they're doing what they're doing, how they're doing, like selling their soul and this, that, and the other. It's like, it's going to happen the way that it's supposed to happen. That's it. It's going to happen the way that it's supposed to happen. And it will either happen extremely bad for them or just bad for them, or, I can't say now that it's going to happen good for them because they haven't done anything out of the goodness of their own heart, like believing that this is how they should behave. So there will be a reckoning, a judgment, a blah blah, whatever it is, that will happen. And we're all being judged, like I said. Those that are good will get dharma, those that are bad will get karma. Confirmation. And then we'll get to that one ending, which is the new beginning, which is, when I was younger, the end or the beginning, which is pretty much based on this, which I didn't know about. But it was basically Adamski and Evelyn, traveling across the world trying to escape all these bad things that are happening. And they end up meeting, and, the world pretty much comes to an end, and it's, them two left, and they're starting creation again. And these are two special people that meet, the Adam and Eve scenario, but a real version of it. Or same ending result. Yeah, so the only things that will change are the minor things that have no effect. But this is about two people coming together, having a child, starting a new creation theory, whatever. That's what they're trying to stop. And it's not going to happen. Like, the child will be born, the world will be what it's going to be, etc., etc., etc. These two people will be powerful, the other people will be powerful, God will, be known. It turns out to be. Because God's always, like, God's the first superhero, the first superhero, like, better than Superman. Like, God's as cool as fuck. Like, the stuff that God can do is way better than Superman, way better than Batman. Like, God is a superhero, and He's within all of us, so we're all superheroes, really. And I know I'm a Super Mario, but I've never had anything to do with that scenario. Like, I try to steer away from that. But we are all superheroes in our own way, because we all have that God light in us, that God particle, that God, whatever it is you want to call it, we all have that in us. The soul, whatever it is, the one consciousness that we all are, we're all part of the same thing, because we were all created from the same thing. It's like, what gets me is, see, these are the questions I asked. I've said the others, but I'll say this one as well. It's like, you look up into the sky at night, and what do you see? And everyone goes, say, stars, stars, we see stars, and we see the moon. No, you see planets. Like, the sun is a star, is it not? The sun is a star. So when you see the sun, you see a star. And yet when I see Venus, Neptune, Saturn, Pluto, well not Pluto, but well maybe even Pluto, if you can see it, like they're planets and they shine like stars. Hang on, whoa. If the sun is a star, shouldn't they shine like the sun? Like when I look at the sky, am I seeing planets or am I seeing lots of suns? Like what is it? What am I supposed to believe? I know that when I look in the sky and I look at the conjunction of the planets, I'm told they're stars. And the moon is not a planet. I can see the moon and that's bright. I can see the planets and that's bright. And I can see the sun and that doesn't look anything like those planets. And the sun is a star. How does that work? Someone's bullshitting about something, because when I see planets, they look like stars to me. And yet when I see the sun, that looks like the star as well. But that is a star and they're just planets. So what am I being told? Another bit of BS. It's like the stuff that people tell me, I look and I go, no, that can't be right. I can see the planets. There they are. They look like stars. Those planets look like stars. If they're planets, they're not stars because the sun is a star. And the sun looks like that. Big, yellow and burning. That's a star. So someone's lying. Or somebody's mistaken. Or somebody doesn't understand what a planet is or a star is. Or there's some BS going on somewhere. So what the fuck? They're not stars. Those planets that I see, all 7 of them lined up, looking like stars, are just planets. And that sun that I see, that big, well, white now, but it used to be yellowy orange, that's a star. Well, something isn't right. It really isn't right. And when I see the moon in the daytime, shouldn't I see a full moon each time? Like if the moon doesn't change its orbit or anything, and I see the moon here and the sun here, and the sun is up in the sky and the moon is up in the sky, why is there a quarter moon in the daytime when the sun is shining full on the moon? If the moon is in the sky and the sun is in the sky, and there's nothing between them, why is it only a quarter moon? And why is it I can see the moon and it looks like a smiley face? Because the sun is underneath and the moon is up. And you can only see the bottom of the moon and you see 2 stars above it looking like a smiley face. Well, 2 planets or 2 stars or whatever you want to call them. So the sun must be below the earth to shine up so that the earth is shading the top part of the moon. What? Most of the time, I can see a crescent moon. And now the crescent is like a smiley face, which means whatever's blocking the sun from the moon must be in between the sun and the moon, but above the moon, and the sun must be below in order to create that. So hang on, how do these things go around what they tell us? None of it makes sense. How can I see the sun and the moon in the sky at the same time with nothing in between the sun and the moon, and yet it's only a quarter moon or a half moon or whatever it is? Surely if the sun is here and the moon is here, so the sun is here and the moon is here, and they're in the sky at the same time, and it's during the day, and the earth is below because I'm looking up at the sun and I'm looking up at the moon, and there should be nothing between the two, shouldn't it be a full moon? It's like this reality that we're supposed to believe doesn't seem very real. Because I'm pretty sure if I had a torch here and a torch and an object here, and here is the earth underneath, and I shone this torch at this object, I would see all of this object. All of it. Not a quarter of it, not half of it, I would say all of it. Because there's nothing between. It's only when the earth comes in between that I should get quarter or half or three quarters of the women stuff. So I'm thinking, I don't know. I don't know what people are telling me, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. I see planets, I don't see stars. If I was going to see a star, I'd see the sun. I'd see the sun. The sun is a star. The planets that I see shining in the sky, Jupiter, Venus, Neptune, Saturn, Mars, Venus, they're planets. Why do they call them stars? They're definitely planets. They look like what are supposed to be stars because they're called stars, but they're definitely planets. Which is, to me, just like simple bullshit. Why am I believing that that's a star when it's a planet? That go picking the meat from the bones, being able to discern the lies coupled truth. They have to give the truth to avoid the. Yes, absolutely, Nikki. They have to give the truth to avoid the karma. But now that the real truth is out about what they have been doing, hiding the evil on good people, doing bad things and blaming good people for it. Now that that's out, it's a different kettle of fish or bones to do or whatever. Great to read you all. Robert, did you see my small contribution to episode 3 of Netflix? I won't watch that. Does not interest me. I think so. I will email you a hint. Sounds good. And there you go. So I'll leave that with you. Like, I haven't done this to make friends, to make money, to get subscribers, to get likes, to do whatever. I've done it because the world's going to change. There are evil people in the world that are going to be found out, and they had a chance to change, and they didn't. And some are, going through that process now. And I send love and light to you. And I'm not going to lie, it's going to be hard work. It's going to hurt. There'll be a lot of tears, but it's worth it. It's worth it when when you come through it. It's worth it. I'm not going to lie, it's not going to be easy. And hopefully there'll be people around. Excuse me, hang on. More often than not, you're better on your own getting through it, because people that you think are friends might not be friends. People that excuse me, confirmation. Like, it gets confusing when you listen to other people, so you need to listen to yourself and suffer, on your own, like with your own thoughts, and you get through it quicker because there's no second guessing. There's nobody else's opinion is going to influence what you do, and they may stop you getting to that point that you need to get to. So whilst it's to say people around to help, they might not actually help. It's almost like going cold turkey. You need to, the harder it is, the more likely you'll come out the other end, the person that you want to be. And there are no shortcuts. It's simple as that. There are no shortcuts. It has to be done. If you want it to be done, if you want to be the person that you remember, or you want to be the person that you always imagined, or however you want to see it. My buddy Dave don't know Jack, or does he? He might know Jack. You don't know. They might be best buddies. So don't. This is not. I'm not here to try and say that I'm better than anyone. I'm not. That's not the case. I'm trying to say that we're all the same, and we all have our good side and bad side, and we just have to learn to live with ourselves and learn to live with each other and offer love and light, in all cases. And there's some people who don't want to accept that, and that's fine as well. They can live how they want to live. It's that simple. Live the way you want to live, and be judged on the things that you do, but not by other people. By a higher hand. I'm not going to judge anyone. I don't care. You do what you want to do. I may get offended. I may get upset. I may ask for justice, but I won't seek justice. And you wouldn't want me to. You really wouldn't want me to seek justice. From my own ends, because my justice would be worse than a just God. My justice could be. Actually, no, I wouldn't say that, because I'm quite fair. There are things that I think that I would do, but I wouldn't do them. I would think that I would do them, and then I would do the right thing. So I will measure the justice that I mete out. So, was it Solomon? Like, I'll cut the baby in half, then you can have half each. Like, that's the thing that I'd think. But then, it would get the right response. You know what I mean? So that would be how I would work. But I suppose if they both said yes, I don't know, would I cut the baby in half? I don't know. If they both said, yeah, okay, we'll have half each. I definitely wouldn't give the baby to either of them if they both said, yeah, okay. Casper is a friendly ghost. Mario, that's great. What's great? Me going? Yeah, I think that would be great. No, but there is a dark side to me. I don't hide that. I wouldn't say well, I don't know, I might be. I have I don't know whether it's knowledge or capacity to be evil. If I had to, I could. If I had to, I could. Like, I've seen bad things happen. I've never understood it in the sense that I could live that life. I've understood why it's happened and why they've done it, but I've never understood, if I could do that. But, I suppose it's always the first time, isn't there? I just want people to get on. Like, there's 8 billion people in the world. I don't want to see anyone get hurt. No one. Not a single solitary being. Not an animal, not a tree, plant, whatever. Just for the sake of hurting it, just for the sake of destroying it. I don't want that. But there's also something inside me that says, listen, for 8 billion people, if 7 billion people could live a beautiful life, I would have to kill 1 billion. I would have to take 1 billion people out. I could do that. I could do that. If that 1 billion people were not prepared to allow 7 billion people to live a beautiful life, I would make sure that 1 billion people didn't exist, in order that 7 billion could live the best life. That's how I feel. That's how I think. If I have to take $1 billion out to make not make 7 billion, to allow 7 billion people to live a beautiful life, I would bear taking $1 billion out. Like, not giving that billion the love that I want to give them, because they don't want it anyway. They don't want it, and all they're bothered about is destroying other people. And that's where that dark side of me comes in. And I will justify that. I will justify that by, if you don't want the love that I offer you, then I don't give you my love. What's the point? That's pointless. Absolutely wasted. If you don't want the love that I offer you love, I offer you friendship, I offer you peace. If you don't want that, that's fine. I will let you live your life in peace. But if you then turn around and say, what you want to do is destroy these people, is to ruin these other people that do want my love, that do want my affection, that do want my protection, or whatever it is, however it is, I would say, well, no, you can't. No, you can't. Because it's what I said before, that people say, well, we don't know who you love. I love everyone. So nobody should be hurt. No one. Nothing. Zilch. Nada. No one. Now, listen. People say, if there was a God, these things wouldn't happen. Listen. This is important. If there was a God, these things would not happen. Okay? So now God decides that they can't happen, and he takes 1 billion people out. And then you're all up in arms. Oh, why have you done that? Why have you done that? When you said, if there was a God, these things wouldn't happen. In order for these things not to happen, God has to take 1 billion people out. Are you going to be happy with that? I would. I'd be happy with that. But I don't want these bad things to happen. In order for them to stop, I'm not saying that that's the case, I'm just saying, in order for it to stop, we have to take 1 billion people out. That's it. That's it. You're an evil person. You. 1 billion times over. You're gone. Finished. Is that what you want from a God? Stop it. Just take Hitler out and the whole army. Take them all out. Boom. Done. Finished. Anybody, what's his name? Oh, Mussolini. You're in with him as well. You're out. And your army. You're out. No? What do you mean, no? You said if there was a God, these things wouldn't happen. So God just goes around and takes everybody out. You're a bad person, you're a bad person, you're a bad person, you're a bad person. Stuff the relatives, stuff the family, stuff the loved ones. You're all evil, so out you go. You're done. Finished. A little bit different then, isn't it? Not for me. Not for me. That's how dark I can get. If it comes to the point that people won't listen, don't need them. They're not part of the creation. Whatever soul is in them isn't learning. Whatever meat bag they are is not learning. Whatever water holder they are is not learning. So you need to think about those things when you turn around and say, well, if there was a God, he would have taken Hitler out. And then somebody else comes in. Because we've had wars over and over and over, haven't we? Doesn't matter who's in power. We still have the war. You see, you have to take out the bad apples. And then the other apples don't get contaminated. For the greater good. So stop saying these stupid things. If there was a God, this wouldn't happen. If there was a God, this wouldn't happen. You want God to do something about these things. The solution is quite simple. But if God did it, you go, oh, what sort of God's he? That doesn't seem very much like a God. Not much love going on there. So, people, be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you say. You are better do Casper, you're welcome. Robert, we still going camping when this is over. What do you mean this is over? I certainly hope so. I would love to meet you, Davey B. Love to meet all eventually. All? Are you sure all? Are you sure all? I don't know about all. They might not wish good things on us, David. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. This quick video was 3 hours long almost. Again, I don't know. I don't know why I do it. Maybe because I have a heart. Maybe because I don't want people to suffer. Maybe because I want us all to just get along. Maybe because I'm the mirror that you hate. I don't know. Either way, the message is out. The universe knows. God knows. Mom knows. Love knows. Nature knows. The aliens know. Spirits know. The ancestors know. Whatever it is you believe, they all know. Oh, 11. That's a lucky number. And 3. Ooh, got 3 likes. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate it. And it wasn't late. Well, it is late now, but it wasn't late when I started. But at least the weather's nice. It's all good. So I hope you all have a great evening or morning, whatever it is. I might get an early night for once. Normally I just stay up. Speak to the moon. Oh, the moon's my friend as well. Like people doing moon magic. It's like, but the moon's my friend. The sun's my friend. Like nature's my friend. The darkness is my friend. The light is my friend. Like I make friends. That's what I do. Because I don't hate anyone. I don't hate the dark. I don't hate the light. I don't hate the moon. I don't hate the sun. I don't like snow. Do I hate the snow? I might hate the snow actually. That's bad, isn't it? I have to apologise to the snow. I apologise to the snow. I don't hate you. I just hate like shoveling you up and clearing the roads. That's what I hate. And the fear of, accidents. That's what I hate. Well, I don't hate. I just have a dislike, a dislike towards it. If that's it. So thanks. So thanks and ciao for now. I'm sorry if, these are just my thoughts. You don't have to agree with them. I'm just explaining this is the information I have, which is factual, which is verifiable, as Trusted was saying. These things are verifiable. There is information that's hidden, also verifiable, that needs to come out. Oh, like security bloke or woman, whatever. It doesn't matter. So talk about this billionaire, the celebrities, blah, blah, blah. Don't worry. There's nothing. Have you been? It's been sacked or taken out or whatever. Anyway, head of security. Have an issue. Are we still here? Mr. Trusted. We could meet up near. Oh, I don't know why that zoomed in. Yes, let's meet up. Yes, we could meet up near Ralph Lauren's house. Good night, all. Oh, That's like the Waltons. Good night, MJ. Good night, John Boy. Good night, Grandad. Good night. Appreciate you all anyway. Thanks for popping in. There was a nice camping place near it. Okay. At least it's not a road trip. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Ciao for now.